If your Google business profile was suspended and the message says quality issues, that message tells you almost nothing. It's one of the most common suspension messages Google sends, and it's intentionally vague. But here is what most people don't know. Quality issues isn't a reason. It's a category, and your job is to figure out which violation it's pointing to. While you're trying to figure that out, your profile is invisible. No Google Maps, no search visibility, no new customer inquiries, and for many local businesses, a suspension immediately impacts calls, bookings, and new customer inquiries. And the longer the profile stays down, the more visibility and revenue disappears with it. Okay, so quality issues is a Google catch-all suspension label. It covers a broad range of violations, from how your business name is formatted to whether your address is eligible, to whether your data is consistent across platforms. When you receive a message from Google saying that your profile is suspended, Google doesn't specify which one triggered the suspension. It just sends the label. Think of it as a system flag and not an explanation. The suspension is real, but the actual trigger behind it, you have to identify it yourself. So quality issues is not a reason, it's a category, and the violation is underneath it. And that's what you need to identify before you do anything else. Before we go into the patterns, there are two types of suspensions that can generate this message. A soft suspension is when your profile may still appear publicly, but you've lost access to manage it. While a hard suspension is when your profile is completely removed from Google Maps and search. The approach to fixing each one is different, but in both cases, the first step is the same. It's about identifying the underlying violation. In practice, quality issues suspensions are most commonly triggered by 4 underlying patterns. The first pattern is the name violation. If your GBP name contains keywords, a city name, or anything that doesn't match your exact legal business identity, that's considered a quality issue. For instance, a law firm listed as Anderson Legal Group, Personal Injury Attorneys Miami instead of just Anderson Legal Group, or an HVAC company listed as Texas Comfort HVAC with AC Repair Dallas added instead of just Texas Comfort HVAC. In any case, Google requires your name to match exactly what's on your license, your signage, your website, with nothing added. The second pattern is about address issues. Virtual offices, PO boxes, mailbox services, co-working spaces without dedicated signage and staff presence. All of these trigger quality issues. Google requires a real, staffed, accessible physical location for any business showing a public address. If your address doesn't meet the standard, even if you've used it for years, it's a quality violation. The next pattern is the NAP inconsistency. Name, address, phone. If these don't match exactly across your GBP, your website, and your directories, Google cross-referencing system flags it as a quality issue. For instance, a business updates their phone number on Google but forgets the 40 directories that still show the old number, or a slightly different address format on the website footer. Google sees many different versions of the same business and is considered a quality issue. The pattern 4 is the service area businesses configuration issue. Service area businesses, plumbers, electricians, cleaners go to customers. Customers don't come to them. Google's rule is, if you're a service area business, your address must be hidden. A plumber lists their home address publicly, selects storefront as the business type, and describes serving the entire metro area. In this case, there are 3 violations in one setup, and Google flags it as a quality issue, even though the business is completely legitimate. So, when you receive a quality issue suspension, before you appeal, run this sequence. First, check your business name and make sure it is the exact legal name as shown on your business license. Then verify your address and address type. Check if your address is real, staffed, and signed. After that, you will need to audit your NAP, so your name, your address, and your phone number across your Google business profile, your website, and every directory. Make sure that it's the same information everywhere. And finally, you have to verify your business type and make sure that it is correctly set up on your Google business profile depending on the nature of your business. So if it's a storefront or a service area business, you have to set up correctly and it has to match the Google rules. And of course, you have to fix every issue you find and not just the most obvious one, because you will likely find many different issues, or maybe 2 or 3 different issues with your profile if it is suspended. So then and only then you can appeal. When you appeal, you have to remember that your evidence has to be ready before you click submit. So you should prepare and group all your documents and proof before you start the appeal, because once the appeal is filed, you have a limited window to upload your documents, and if you miss it, the appeal will be incomplete to Google. Okay, if your Google business profile has been suspended, don't guess at the fix. Click the link in the description and request your free reinstatement review. Within 24 hours, I'll personally review your suspension and tell you honestly whether I believe I can help. I don't accept every case. I only take the ones I genuinely believe I can help with. If I do, I'll handle your entire reinstatement from the compliance review to the appeal and every follow-up with Google until a decision is made. The link is in the description and pinned in the comment section, so you can get your free reinstatement review today. So, if your Google business profile was suspended due to quality issues, here is exactly what to do after watching this video. First, don't appeal yet. Make sure to find the violation first and find the issue or the issues. Because if you wait an appeal without fixing the issue, it will make your account even harder to being reinstated. Secondly, you have to absolutely check your business name and make sure that you don't find one of the most common triggers that we've described earlier in the video. Then you will want to verify if your address is eligible depending on your business type, and make sure that your NAP is aligned and identical across every platform, so your name, address, and phone number. And finally, you have to fix every issue before you start touching the appeal form, because if you fix one and miss another, you'll be denied. Okay, see you in the next one.